Hey, welcome to Dad Space. It's Dave with you. Thank you for being here. I just want to shout out, hey, I'm seeing comments on YouTube. I'm seeing comments on Spotify. I'm hearing from you and it's making me super happy. So from one dad to you, thank you for being here on Dad Space. Thank you for listening. Thank you for pressing play. You make me one happy dad. And what makes me even happier is that you're here to talk about more dad stuff. And I want to share with you a clip that stopped me in my tracks. And it made me do some reflection, and I thought of you. So that's why I'm here. We're going to talk about some time. We have some time on our hands, about 2 watches, one broken and one that works, and what you can learn from Mr. John Cena and a couple watches. Thanks for being here. Now, back in the day, I, Dave, was a huge wrestling fanatic. Back then it was called the WWF. And I watched every Saturday night event. It was like a must-see thing for me in high school, early college, and growing up. I just loved all of the characters. I went to Buffalo, New York. I live in Canada. I went to Buffalo, New York, and I saw a live taping. Mean Gene was there, the Ultimate Warrior, on and on and on. Ricky Steamboat. Who else? Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh, yeah. Right. All these people were there. And I got to see what I saw on television in real life. These characters are superstars. Like, it was amazing to see what they do and then on television, but see it played out in front of you. It was the coolest thing. It's funny because my grandfather came with us, my dad's dad. And the way the seats worked out, he ended up sitting by himself, not with us in a group, but he had a seat somewhere else in the arena. He was probably the reason why I fell in love with wrestling. This retired grandpa, big kind of jovial man, lots of rings. He liked rings. And he always smelled good. He was like really like grandpa that smelled good. I don't know. Anyways, weird. He wanted to go so bad that he sat on his own. We got him an extra ticket and he was somewhere else in the arena. I don't even know where he was. But I remember watching this and going, wow, these guys are bigger than life, right? So cool. And so it had a big impact on me. And as I think back on it, I can see myself in the crowd, and it was amazing. It was so cool. Anyway, so I'm curious, were you ever a wrestling fan? Did you ever watch wrestling, and were you into that? It's pretty amazing. On one of my podcasts, I actually interviewed a former wrestler, and we had a great conversation. I'll have to dig that up. I'll try to find that, put a link in the show notes. But I'm a big fan of wrestling. So anyway, so John Cena is on a night show, random TV show. They're all the same now. Everybody's named Jimmy, apparently. It's the only people who can have a night show. Anyway, John's on. He's talking about why he always carries 2 watches. He has the one on his wrist, which works. And of course, it's probably pretty expensive. And then he has one in his pocket, which is a broken pocket watch. It doesn't even work. And he was questioned by the host as to why the 2 watches, just kind of showing off here. Is this a thing, or why would you be carrying 2 watches with you? Just seems a little excessive. And it's weird because the crowd doesn't know how to handle this. And as you hear, I'll play the clip, as you hear him talking about it and explaining it, there's this awkward crowd laughter thing, they don't know what to do. And again, another moment where a guy is opening up his heart to the world And it's this awkwardness where the world doesn't know what to do with it. So there's two things going on here. John talking about why he carries the two watches and the meaning behind that. But a world that doesn't understand a guy sharing something deep. We don't expect somebody who picks up people and throws them on the ground to be quite philosophical and kind of have this big worldview. And we don't think of them as a relatively deep thinker. We just think of them as a kind of a meathead, which is so not what is happening in this moment at all. And we don't think that celebrities actually have something meaningful to say, which is a shame. It's a shame. So I want you to hear it. You'll hear the awkward laugh about halfway through. And then what I'm going to do, I'll play the whole clip, and then I'm going to come back and cut it up into pieces and kind of expand on it from my perspective as what resonated with me. And I'd love to hear what resonates with you if you've never heard this. I'll put a link to the clip as well so you can watch it. But here's John on a night show, just fill in the blank, any night show. It's the same ones anyways. But he's being asked kind of in a offhanded manner about, like, what's with the two watches? And here's what John comes back with. I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more after this. Here we go.
You took something out. My eye fell upon that. I thought it's a pocket watch.
Yes, that's interesting. It's broken.
What do you mean it's broken?
I mean, it doesn't tell time. I broke it a long time ago, but I keep it with me. This one tells time. This one tells perspective.
It tells what?
Perspective.
Perspective.
Yes, I keep it with me. It's got engravings on two sides. The back is something I used to feel uncomfortable in rooms like this, in front of people. I used to think I was not enough. I did not value self. So on the back of this watch, it simply says, comparison is the thief of joy. So I take this, and every time I feel uncomfortable or of low self-worth, I just give it a little reminder, and it reminds me that I am enough, and I'm worthy of love. And on the other side, it says memento mori. For when my head gets too big, I need to remember that I'm human, and I am above no one. And always remember where I came from, and remember those that support me, that I don't do it alone. So I have one side for when I think my ego is too big, and one side for when I don't feel enough. And it's a nice little keeper of perspective, not time.
Okay, so there you go. You can hear that little awkward laugh because the people don't know what to do with this. Wow, this guy's getting really deep. And we didn't expect it from somebody who's a star, a wrestler, right? And I love John's approach to that. And the openness to say that there's times when John, who is this big, tough, strong icon that people look up to, when he himself does not feel like enough. You're like, with all the money and all the fame and all the attention, and like, nobody's inviting me on a night show to talk about my stories. You think this guy's got it all. Like, how do you not feel like you have enough? You should be feeling like you fill the room. But there's times when John, with all of the success he has, doesn't feel like he himself fills the room. And my thought to you as a dad, is that how you're feeling? But let's break down a little bit more about the idea of having this broken pocket watch that he carries, the engravings on that pocket watch, and his own watch on his wrist. I love the intention behind it. It seemed like a throwaway question from the host in the moment, but to come back with something that makes you go, hang on, wait a minute, what did he just say? That was my response. I had to play it over and over and over again to let it sink in that this guy was really showing up. And there's so many lessons here for you and me as a dad that I wanted to share with you because I'm working through it in real time, and using this example helps me to be a better dad. But I'm hoping that by me becoming a better dad and living the principles of what John's talking about helps you, in whether or not you're a dad or not, helps you to be and show up in this world when you don't feel like you're enough. Let's jump into this. I'm glad you're here. So 2 watches, one works, one's broken, yet they both carry meaning and they both have a purpose, which I love. One watch tells the time, and one watch tells perspective. There are lessons that we can find for us as dads from John's example around self-worth and humility in our everyday life. What can we learn from John Cena's approach to self-worth and humility? The two watches and what they represent. First, the functional watch on his wrist. The watch on his wrist is an actual functioning watch to help him tell time, make sure he's not late for something. It's very practical. It shows a very practical side of him that he has a watch on his wrist. It shows that he's bound by schedule, he's bound by commitments, and there is a daily grind to this thing on our wrist that reminds me if we're late for something, if we're on time, or if we're early. It's kind of a measuring stick, and it's with us all the time. I think except when I'm sleeping, I always have a watch on my left wrist. I've had a watch on my left wrist since high school. So, not the same watch. Many, many times have I changed my watch. And I think, let's be transparent, Dave, my watch that I currently have, I've had for years. I think I paid $20 for it. It's a very expensive Timex. And it's got scratches, it's got dings. It's kind of like my life. It's all beat up, but it still works. Get what I did there? Yeah. So I love it. There's nothing fancy about it, but your watch may vary. But your watch represents the practical side of you. It's a working thing that keeps me on schedule. And at a moment's notice, I can glance down and go, oh, dang, I got to wrap this up. Or I'm late, I'm early. It's a great way to kind of know. And for me, what day it is, that helps me as well. For dads, this watch on your wrist, a functioning watch, it's the reminder of our responsibilities, our work, our family, and the ticking clock of fatherhood. That time is ticking away. We always see it as ticking forward, but it's actually ticking backwards as well, right? So there's the functional watch, the first watch that he talks about. The second watch doesn't even work. It's broken. It has no use as far as what it was originally made for. But there is a perspective element to the pocket watch in his coat. Again, that doesn't work. And what is it? To complement the functional watch on his wrist, the perspective watch in his pocket doesn't tell time, but it holds two powerful engravings. First, comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of joy. Who are you comparing yourself to in this moment? Who comes to mind? Is it a person? Is it a thing? Is it a position? Is it a dollar amount in your bank account? Comparison is the thief of joy. Does your neighbor have a nicer truck than you? Is the house across the street better than yours? Is someone else's wife prettier than yours? Come on now. Come on. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a reminder to avoid comparing ourselves to others, to other dads, maybe on how they parent. And look at their kids, they're so great. They're into sports. My kids hate sports, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. We need to recognize that we are enough, and we, you and I, are worthy of love. We are. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's engraved on John Cena's watch. What are you comparing yourself to right now in this moment? This week, this month, this year? Are you trapped? Is it stealing your joy? Comparison is the thief of joy. The second thing engraved on his watch, memento mori. It's Latin. And it means, remember, you will die. Now that's morbid, Dave. but it's true. Memento mori. Latin. For you, remember, you're going to die. It's a call to humility, reminding us that we're all human. No one's better than anyone else. Everyone is on the same path. Whether you have $1 billion or you have 10 cents, whether you live in a mansion or you live under a bridge, we are all on the same path, and we all end up in the same place. We need to stay grounded, even when we feel successful or super important. John Cena uses these two watches as a keeper of perspective, not time. It helps him to balance the moments of low self-worth with reminders of his value and moments of ego with reminders of his humanity. So let's break these down again. I want to chop up that clip one more time, because I really think you need to listen to it again. One time's not enough. It's not enough. You're going to listen to it more than once. Maybe even this episode more than once. But I want you to hear this in chunks. So let's do it again and break down the sections one by one. Here we go.
This one tells time. This one tells perspective.
It tells what?
Perspective.
Perspective.
Yes, I keep it with me. It's got engravings on two sides. The back is something I used to feel uncomfortable in rooms like this, in front of people. I used to think I was not enough. I did not value self.
Okay, I didn't think I was enough and I didn't value myself. My question to you, is that how you're feeling right now? Are you feeling like you're not enough? When you look at your kids, when you look at your partner, when you look at your expectations, your to-do list, your career, the amount of money in your bank, how you show up in public, your friend circle, your education, all of these things, do you feel like you're enough? Do you value yourself? I don't think we do a great job of valuing ourselves as dads, as men. I think that we need to be more intentional with this. And don't find your value in other people's opinion of who you are. Find your value of who you say you are and who you know yourself to be. Do you value yourself? John goes on.
So on the back of this watch, it simply says comparison is the thief of joy. So I take this, and every time I feel uncomfortable or of low self-worth, I just give it a little reminder, and it reminds me that I am enough and I'm worthy of love.
Do you feel like you're worthy of love? You're like, Dave, I sometimes no. To be completely transparent and open in the moment, no. There are many times that I don't feel like I'm worthy of love. If you've ever listened to more than one episode of the Dad Space podcast, you're going to hear me being quite transparent about some pretty stupid things that I've done as a dad with huge negative impacts on my journey as a dad, with my family, with my kids. Things where I totally went the wrong direction. And in that moment, I did not feel like I deserved love because of how I treated others, how I destroyed or hurt others in the moment when I felt like I was maybe being attacked, that I lashed out and did something that had lasting impact on people. And even today, I still don't feel like I deserve love, even months and months after, simply because of what happened. So I know that I'm not the only human on this planet. I know that I'm not the only dad. And I know that I'm not the only person who screws up. So I'm really identifying with John in this moment, that I love the idea that comparison is the thief of joy, and that he has that on his watch. Again, he continues.
And on the other side, it says memento mori. For when my head gets too big, I need to remember that I'm human and I am above no one. And always remember where I came from and remember those who support me, that I don't do it alone.
That's a big thing. Remember those who support you and that you're not meant to do this alone. Go back to the original reason why I created this podcast. And if you haven't heard it, go back to the beginning and you'll hear me tell you the story. But a quick recap. Sitting in the hospital room, holding my newborn the day after they were born. My wife is resting. It's just me and the baby. And the day before, when the baby was about to be born, the doctor looking at me saying, if you do pass out during this, remember there's no one here to catch you. So there's nobody here for you. And it was meant to be an offhanded comment to lighten the mood and remind me that my wife is a priority, which she is. But the haunting words of the doctor would not leave me alone. That there's nobody here for you in this moment. And when everybody went home, when the family went back to their routine, we get the baby home, and my wife is navigating motherhood for the first time. I'm navigating fatherhood for the first time. We're feeling completely inadequate. We're feeling like everyone's doing it better. We're feeling like we're not enough. And we're going to screw this up. And we're going to make big mistakes. And our kids are going to grow up and hate us for being humans and not knowing all the answers and making it up as we go. Fake it till you make it kind of stuff without the resources of a podcast or a community or people like you that reach out and support the show. And we have great conversations about dad stuff. I didn't have any of that as a young dad. Comparison was the thief of my joy. And I came to the realization that there was nobody here for me. The doctor told me, there's nobody here for you. And that resounding thing in my brain made me start this show. Because if you've ever felt like you're alone, like John has been talking about on this clip, if you've ever felt like you're alone, you're not enough. There's not enough of you to fill the room or to go around, and you feel like you're failing. That's why I created this show. Because I want you to hear today that you are enough. And you need perspective in your life. Don't just follow the watch on your wrist, but follow the broken watch that shows you perspective. This week, listen to John's words.
So I have one side for when I think my ego is too big and one side for when I don't feel enough. And it's a nice little keeper of perspective, not time.
We're not just here to keep time. You're not a timekeeper. You're a perspective keeper. And I love that this is what John's approach is. And again, a throwaway comment from a late night host on some random late night TV show turns into a magical moment the audience doesn't even know how to process in the moment. But I don't want this to slip by you, and I want you to hear this again and again and again. So at the expense of being too repetitive, here it is again fully. And I want to close off with John, because this whole episode is around his perspective. 2 watches. And to remind you that you are enough. You are enough. We need you. Your kids need you. Your partner needs you. This world needs you. You are enough. And when you feel inadequate, focus on your perspective. And again, we'll let John take us out one more time from the top. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to Dad Space. Here's John one more time.
You took something out. My eye fell upon that. I thought it's a pocket watch.
It is.
That's interesting.
It's broken.
What do you mean it's broken?
I mean, it doesn't tell time. I broke it a long time ago, but I keep it with me. This one tells time. This one tells perspective.
It tells what?
Perspective.
Perspective.
Yes, I keep it with me. It's got engravings on 2 sides. The back is something I used to feel uncomfortable in rooms like this, in front of people. I used to think I was not enough. I did not value self. So on the back of this watch, it simply says comparison is the thief of joy. So I take this, and every time I feel uncomfortable or of low self-worth, I just give it a little reminder, and it reminds me that I am enough and I'm worthy of love. And on the other side, it says memento mori. For when my head gets too big, I need to remember that I'm human and I am above no one. And always remember where I came from and remember those that support me, that I don't do it alone. So I have one side for when I think my ego is too big and one side for when I don't feel enough. And it's a nice little keeper of perspective, not time.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dad Space. Thanks for hanging out to the end of the podcast. That's a great sign to wherever you're listening to this podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, fill in the blank, that this was a good podcast to send people to. So simply by listening to this point of the podcast, you're helping the show grow. So good on you. Thanks for helping us grow Dad Space. If you want to help us fill our cups over at Dad Space, head over to dadspace.ca. Dadspace.ca, simple website, right? Dadspace.ca. You can fill up our coffee cup, which helps us then to keep moving forward with the podcast, and use our Buy Me a Coffee link over at dadspace.ca. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for sharing, because the more people, more dads we can help, the better. We're all here to help each other grow in community. That's what it's all about. And without you, the podcast is pointless. There's no reason to do any of this. So you being here means everything. See you at dadspace.ca. Take care.